Hey there, what's up everybody? My name's Ben. Thank you for tuning into the Source Skater Studio. Today's video is being recorded as part of a homework assignment for my yoga teacher training with My Vinyasa Practice. So the good folks over there are going to review it and hopefully give me some good advice, good feedback to improve my teaching capabilities. Today's theme for this session is a warm-up before a skate sesh. So you could do this to get your body prepared and ready before you go skateboarding. It'd also be a great session as a morning wake-up session to just kind of get your body feeling good, work out some kind of morning post-wake-up stiffness you might have. And it'll be good generally for mobility as well as working on leg strength and core strength. A couple more things, a couple more intentions that you can take into this practice as well that I hope you do. One would be linking the body with the breath and trying to follow the breath as it moves in and out of your body. Practice watching the breath in the various postures and see how your muscles in your body can be energized by the breath by breathing intentionally during different postures and movements. And then finally, another good intention to take for this session is tuning in with your body, checking in with your body and seeing what kind of state it's in and its readiness for a skate session. So for me, if I do a session like this and my hip's feeling kind of sore, I feel something going on with my ankle, whatever it may be, I may know that that day is a day to either not skate or take it really easy when I go skate. Maybe, if I'm feeling like really not great, I'll go for a hike instead of skateboarding. Or maybe if I feel just so-so, still want to skate, maybe I'll go skate, but all I'll do is some tic-tacs, manuals, ride around. I'll take it easy and do some easy stuff. Maybe I won't pop tricks at all. As opposed to if I do a session like this and I'm feeling really good, my body's feeling really strong and everything, then maybe I would skate harder and try more challenging tricks. So anyways, those are all intentions you can take toward this session, but the main idea is that it is for warming up pre-skateboarding. A couple things you'll want to have ready to go for this session is a cushion, towel, or rolled up blanket, something you can use as a cushion essentially. We're going to get into a lunge type posture eventually, and it can be helpful for your knee if your knee feels uncomfortable on the ground. And then 2 yoga blocks or another object which could act like them that'll also assist us in that lunge posture. You may or may not need them, but they're helpful if your body feels called to them. And then just have enough space around you on the floor or with a yoga mat, wherever you may be, to kind of stretch out and lay your body all the way down as we're going to do in this first posture. So to begin, lie down on your back. You can either keep the eyes open or close them. You may choose to soften your gaze and have your eyes about halfway open. That's up to you. I usually like to close my eyes. I want you to take your hands and rest them on your stomach. And we're going to just start breathing in and out, watching how the belly moves as we breathe in and out. And if it feels good, I want you to lift your knees up just a little bit so that your heels would be on the ground, your glute, lower back area would be on the ground, but the backs of your knees and your hamstrings and your calves would be raised up. Now from here on your inhales, I want you to purposefully push your stomach and your ribs out to expand the stomach area and watch how your hands move up as that happens. And then as you exhale, purposefully squeeze the core as if you're going to pull your belly button toward back to the ground. I would also recommend trying to breathe in and out for an even amount of time here. So I like to count to 4 as I inhale, and then 4 as I exhale. Your count may be a little longer or shorter, but I think 4 seconds in and 4 seconds out will be a good thing to shoot for in this session. Once again, purposefully expanding the belly and the rib cage as you inhale. Purposefully, intentionally squeezing the core, pulling the belly button toward the ground as you exhale. We'll go for just a few more breaths at your own pace here. Now next what we're going to do is we're going to lift both legs, both knees up so that the knees are directly above the hips. Adjust my body a little bit. So knees directly above the hips. Feet are kind of sticking out like so your body forms this zigzag type of shape. Here we're going to be squeezing our core a little bit more, maintaining that even intentional breathing. Now this here is kind of level 1. Something you can do to add an additional challenge is take one of the blocks we had and squeeze that block in between your thighs. That'll help activate the inner thighs in addition to the core here. If you'd like to add another level of challenge, you can press your thighs into your hands while pushing the hands back into the thighs, kind of maintaining an equilibrium and noticing how that demands more engagement from the core. And I would only recommend going up to the level of challenge that you're capable of while still maintaining that intentional breathing. And finally, if you want to add the last layer of challenge, you can lift your shoulders off the ground, but you don't want to feel any kind of pain or pinching through the neck or upper back here. You want all the intensity to come from the core, as well as maybe some intensity squeezing the block with your legs, but your neck should be able to relax if you choose that level of challenge. I usually do the block along with the pressing hands to thighs, and then if I'm feeling extra great, maybe I'll lift those shoulders up. But as you can hear from my breath, that was quite the challenging posture. So if you're ready to move on now, we can move to the next activity, which is going to be a dynamic lying twist. So kind of beginning from where we just were with the knees above the hips, I want you to breathe in, and on an exhale, bring both your legs down toward the right, and we're going to face the right as if we're lying down. Now on your in-breaths, I want you to lift your hand up toward the ceiling and watch your hand, and then on your out-breaths, I want you to put that hand back down. Once again, breathing in, lifting the hand up toward the ceiling, watching your hand so your torso turns with it. Breathing out, putting the hand back down. And then if you want an additional level of challenge, on the inhale, bring your hand further to the back, maybe all the way to the ground, or maybe halfway there, wherever feels good for you. Once again, breathing in to open up, watch the hand as it moves. Breathing out to close the body, coming back to our original position. And as you do this, I want you to engage the core to help the body twist. You may feel some nice relief through the back here, but I do want you to purposefully engage the core and make this a mini workout for the core and really the side of the core, kind of near the ribs. And after you've done about 5-ish on this side to the degree that you want, on an exhale, come back to the middle. We can breathe in. And when you're ready, bring those legs to the other side. We'll start making a twist towards the other side. So once again, reaching the hand up, watching the hand as it moves, and depending on the level of challenge and movement you want, you might reach your hand just so it points at the ceiling. You may reach it halfway down to the other side or all the way down to the other side. Once again, linking the body and the breath. So breathing in, inhaling to open, move the hand outward. Exhaling to close. Keeping our core active, intentionally used the whole time. And once again, we'll go for 5 or 6 or so on this side. If you remember how many you did on the other side, then go for the same number. Okay, and then next what we're going to do, lie down on your back, this time with your feet pressing into the ground, knees up like so. And level 1 here, we're going to just press the feet into the ground while engaging the glutes and the hamstrings. So on an exhale, press the feet into the ground. On an inhale, relax the body. On an exhale, press the feet into the ground and squeeze the core a little bit. On an exhale, relax the body. That's kind of level 1 right there. If that feels good to you and you want to continue doing that, go for it. If you'd like to take it to the next level of challenge, once again, squeeze the core, squeeze the glutes, press the feet into the ground, and now lift the hips up off the ground with the strength of your glutes, hips, core, and legs. From here, in this bridge posture, on the inhales, dip your body down a little bit, and then on the exhales, intensify and use the glutes more, push the hips further up. Once again, inhale, dip down, exhale, push up. Inhale, dip down, exhale, push up. And go for about 5 of these. When you're ready, you can relax the body, bring the back, everything back down to the ground. The next thing we're going to do has 2 options. You could either go with the one-legged bridge option, or you could go with the donkey kick option. Both options are intended to activate the glute muscles. Although the whole body will be active, it's good to get the whole body involved, but really bring your awareness to the glute muscles and use those more than your other muscles, whichever option you choose. First, I'll show you the one-legged bridge option, which is coming back up into that bridge where we just were, pressing the feet into the ground. Once again, holding yourself up with the strength of the glutes, core, hamstrings, legs. Except this time, we're going to alternate which leg we're standing on. So you'll kick one leg out, put it back down, kick the other leg out, put it back down, and repeat. As you do this, you want to keep the hips level, so you don't want one hip to dip down or up as you kick the leg out. You want to keep them at the same level, and you want to keep them at the level they were at in an even bridge position. And you may choose to exhale as you kick out, inhale as you come back down. Or if you're going to go with the other option, which are donkey kicks, you would begin in a tabletop position, which means your hands are directly below your shoulders, knees directly below the glutes. In here, you would lift one heel up toward the butt, bringing it as close as you can without straining your hamstring. You can open the hip from there slightly, so if you were lifting your right leg like I am now, it would kick toward your left just a little bit, then bring that leg back down and do the same thing on the other side. And again, in that position, I'll switch my body so you can see from a different angle. I would be exhaling while I lifted the leg, inhaling to bring it back down, exhaling while lifting the other leg, inhaling to bring back down. So whichever choice you make, you can go for 4 to 5 on each side, and I will wait and prepare for the next activity as you all do that. And this is a moment during the class where I might observe students and look for aspects of technique which are great, and I would point those great aspects out to encourage people to continue to do that, or I might offer feedback if I saw areas of improvement when it comes to technique. For everybody a few moments to do whichever option they prefer, donkey kicks or the one-legged bridge. And then next we would move into dynamic lunges. So I'm going to begin with my right foot forward in a lunge position. My back toes are tucked. Here is where I might recommend using a cushion if your back knee is uncomfortable on the ground. You could put a cushion under your back knee like so, or like so. I'm on a nice soft carpet, so I don't have to worry too much about that. And then depending on how your body feels, you may choose to use blocks in this movement. I personally don't. I find I lift my back up and I keep my core engaged and I keep good posture better without leaning forward using the blocks. But you may feel like you need to use the blocks. So if you want to experiment with that, please go for it. It's kind of what your body calls you to do. From here, you can have your arms by your sides like so. You can lift your arms up to bring your shoulders into the activity a little bit more. I like to keep my arms by my sides. Begin by breathing in, lifting the core to help my posture, elongate the back. And when I exhale, I'm going to move my back knee forward until it is over the toes or maybe even a little beyond it. Inhale, bring my knee back toward myself until it's above my foot or a little bit behind it. Going in either direction, I would only go so deep as your whole body is comfortable with. So you'll notice that this will challenge the ankle, shin area in particular when you're coming forward. And then it will also challenge the hip on the back. It will stretch the hip and it may feel like a nice opening, but if you go too far, it may feel too intense. So go to the depth which feels appropriate for you. Once again, exhaling to move forward, inhaling to move back, keeping the core lifted, back long, strong through the glutes and the whole legs as we move forward and back. And once again, I would go for about 5 on each side. So I'm going to switch sides now, putting my left leg in front, right leg behind me, toes are tucked. I'm going to take one breath in, elongate the back, strong core, breathing out, moving forward here. Breathing in to come back. And as I exhale and move forward, I like to squeeze both glutes and then especially the front hamstring to help support my leg as it moves forward. Squeezing the back glute and squeezing the back leg a little forward can help support the opening of that hip. Once again, only going to the depth that feels right for you, only going to the depth in any of these postures where you can still maintain that intentional breathing. Okay, now, so that's that. Next, we're going to go for some dynamic marches. So starting from a standing position, this one's kind of simple. We just bring one leg up until the knee is at hip level. I'm going to have my hand ready to meet my leg, and then I push my leg into my hand, put that leg back down, and then I'll lift the other leg up toward my hand, knee in line with the hip, push my thigh into the hand, bring that leg back down. And I usually like to lift the opposite hand from the leg I am lifting up just to help with my balance. I'm keeping a strong core and strength through the leg that's connected to the ground to help with that balance. And then when the leg comes up and meets the hand, presses into the hand, I'm squeezing the top of the thigh to get a nice intentional activation and workout there through the quads. And usually I would breathe in as I lift the leg and breathe out as I push it into the hand. Breathe in as I put the leg back down. Breathe in while I lift the leg. Breathe out, push it into the hand. Breathe in as I put it back down. So go for about 5 of those on each side. Once again, I'm going to observe the room full of my imaginary students looking for technique. Once again, strong core and strong through the leg, particularly the glute of the leg, which stays on the ground, to help maintain your balance and provide a good foundation for getting that activation through the leg that is lifted as it presses into the hand. So the better that foundation of balance is, the steadier your body is as you press the thigh into the hand at its peak, the more you're going to get out of this. All right then, and moving on to our last posture, we're going to go for a dynamic child's pose. So for child's pose, we begin with our big toes touching. The knees can come to a width that feels good for you. I usually go for slightly less wide than I would a resting child's pose. So if you're used to doing child's pose, maybe bring your knees a little closer together than they usually go. Hands begin directly below the shoulders, sort of like we were in tabletop. And then take a breath in. And as you breathe out, squeeze the core and glutes as you move the glutes toward the heels. They don't have to touch the heels, but just moving the glutes toward the heels, however far they may come. As you inhale, come back up until your shoulders are above your hands once more. So again, exhaling, squeezing the core. I'm kind of pressing my glutes down towards my heels as I move the body in that direction, and then breathing in, moving my body back up until my hands are above the shoulders. And as I come back up, I'm also elongating the chest. I'm looking to use my core to lift my body a little bit, make the spine a little longer. So again, breathing out to move the body back, squeezing the core and glutes. Breathing in to come up. Breathing out to move back. Breathing in to come up. And once you've done 5 or 6 of those, we're going to move into a brief Shavasana. So for Shavasana, simply lie down on the floor. I'll begin in Shavasana with everyone and then I'll sit up. Lie down on the floor. You may close the eyes, you may leave them open, or you may soften your gaze to the point that feels good for you. You can rest your arms by your sides. Come to the breath. Watch how the breath moves in and out of the body. It may be helpful to call attention to how the body feels right now as opposed to how it felt in that first lying and breathing posture we did at the beginning of the session. Maybe some things feel more open, more activated, more ready for activity. Maybe some things feel exhausted and ready for rest. It'll all depend on the state of your body, what activities you've been doing recently, maybe even the state of your mind and emotions and how those are impacting the body, how they all weave together. Hopefully, you may feel that the breath is able to move more freely through the body than it was at the beginning. And also, hopefully, you're more in touch with the body and you can feel more of it, or maybe you feel certain areas more deeply or accurately. I'm going to sit up. And we'll stay here for just a few minutes. To clarify, I meant I would sit up. You may stay in Shavasana as long as you feel that it's the right thing for you to do. Now, if you were planning on going skateboarding, I would recommend a very brief Shavasana. So if you actually are going to go skateboard, I would recommend coming out of Shavasana right now, because if your intention is to go into a more intense activity after this session, you would not want to rest the body too much in between, because then you would lose some of the benefits of the warm-up. However, a short Savasana before a skate session, in between the skate session and this warm-up session, would be great, because it will help you connect with your body more deeply, and that's always a good thing. Being more aware of your body, you're able to use it much more effectively, and you're able to listen to it much more effectively. So if you need to take it easy today versus not take it easy, short Savasana can help you inform you of that. If it will maybe be more preferable for you to try a certain style of tricks versus a different style of tricks today, Shavasana body awareness can help you out with that. And then no matter what you're trying, if you are more in tune with your body, how it feels, how it's reacting to the movements, the engagements, and everything you're demanding of it, you're just going to execute what you're trying to do much more effectively, and you're just going to do it better. So I would recommend that brief Shavasana in between a yoga warm-up and a skate session. If you're not going to skate, you could continue sitting in Shavasana for a good 5-10 more minutes. That will put your body kind of more so into rest mode, and then that would turn the session into less of a warm-up and more of a standalone session. But that could be great for its own purposes if that's what you intend to do with it. So anyways, once again, thanks for watching this video, whether you're watching it because you're a skateboarder looking for some helpful stuff for you, or if you're the person at My Vinyasa Practice reviewing this video. Thank you for watching it, and I hope it was enjoyable. All right, everybody, have a great day or night wherever you're at. Peace out.